period style push bike. The initial uniform of the Home Guard was denim overalls, and that was replaced now with what you see Neil wearing, the serge battle dress. The rifle he's sporting is a Royal Enfield 1916, and it was produced in the USA, a .303, and also known as the number 3 Mark I. Number 51 there is the Triumph Tiger Cub. This model was used by the French Army, and it's owned by Roland Poole from Aldershot. And first of our vehicles now is David Ives, and he's driving his 1972 Bedford. It served the whole of its career with number 7 Squadron RCT at Tidworth. It now carries the equipment for the Army Field Kitchen, which is all set up and running over in the section. David Ives, the owner, never fails to disappoint us with his daily cakes that he makes and then gives away. He's even cooking up treats for your dogs over there if you pass by. Oh, here we go. Here's today's treat. We're giving out our prizes today, and David, without any doubt whatsoever, comes across as our most generous exhibitor. Looks like we've got a lovely chocolate cake today. I'm sure if there's any left over there, he'll be handing it out to everybody who's passing by, so make a point of walking past this lovely exhibit over there in the section. Is the James ML. This is a 125cc motorcycle. It's had one previous owner since being sold by the Army. And the gentleman bought it at auction in 1948 for £35. Painted it in shiny black and altered the gear change to a pedal system, but kept the hand lever parts. And its present owner, Mr. Michael Byrne, purchased the bike in January 1981 and restored it back to its originality. And number 71 is the BSA B40 motorcycle. This bike was released from the MOD in June 1967, purchased by its current owner in 2000. The bikes were used to escort VIPs, shepherd convoys, and deliver small packages. B40s replaced the BSA M20 and the matchless GL3 bikes. They've now been replaced by the Can-Am Hondas and the Harley Davidsons. They have limited off-road capabilities, and many have been converted for trial and trial riding. This one's owned by Dave King from Porthcawl. Next up we have the 1964 Triumph 3TA. This is one of a batch of 6,000 sent to the Dutch Army in the spring of 1964. It's a reliable 350cc motorbike and was used as a dispatch rider's bike. Hammer James ML. These were designed for paratroopers during World War II, and it was intended to be dropped into enemy territory by the Horsa gliders and used as long as they could keep them running. It soon earned the nickname the mechanical or clockwork mouse. This is one of a collection of motorcycles owned by Anita Knight from Rurdy. Next up, a motorcycle belonging to the collection of Grant Davidson from Aberdeen. This is the 1943 Harley Davidson 750cc, and Grant's very kindly brought down a huge collection of vehicles for us, and they're up there in the top right-hand side corner of our arena, parked up for your enjoyment. Beautifully restored vehicles. Number 72 is a 1940 Lancing Bagnall aircraft tug. This tug was used on Lincolnshire airfields. It was salvaged from a brickyard 20 years ago and has undergone a total restoration. It's owned by David Jubb from Matlock. Number 49, just coming in now, the 1943 TMC 353. This is owned by Chain Lock at Abbey Palms from Buckfastleigh. Royal Enfield Flying Fleet. It's a lightweight British motorcycle developed by Royal Enfield for the British War Office. This one's owned by David Butcher from Liphook. Number 32 there, just going past commentary position, one of a number of vehicles brought down from the North London Barmy Army. They come to us every year and bring an interesting array of vehicles down for us each year. 64 there coming into the arena is the 1944 Bedford MW. This is last year's prize-winning Bedford in the show, and it's owned by Richard Small from Newton Abbot. If I can get you to just stop there, please. This is our first prize-winning vehicle today, and it's the 1941 Chevrolet cargo truck. These trucks were a series of 1.5-ton trucks produced by Chevrolet and used by the US Army during and after World War II. And its owner, Edward Tucker, there is being presented with the Richard Shepherd Best in Show trophy, presented by Dick Shepherd himself. We're very proud to have him here in our section, presenting trophies today. Thanks very much, Edward. Something a little different now, we've got the little Alice Chalmers crawler. This little crawler is going to be going around and around the outside perimeter of the ring there with its trailer. And we're collecting this year for the Blind Veterans Association, so if you've got some loose change or paint coins, everything's welcome. Just chuck it into his trailer there. We got our gorgeous girls there with the buckets coming round as well. Dig deep, everybody. Let's beat last year's target. And this little vehicle was built in 1942. It was purchased 5 years ago in bits and had been stood for many years with a broken final drive. It was rebuilt by John and the driver Jamie Meachin, and they used with World War II airborne dump tipping trailer. It would have been used for towing loads or vehicles off the beaches and then lease for the agricultural work here in the UK. And one of our Scammells today, the 1941 Scammell Pioneer Recovery Truck. This example served in North Africa under Barimi with the 1st Armoured Division. It returned to the UK and left the Army in 1950 when it became utilised as a showman's tractor. And it's brought to us today by Tim Rushton from the Isle of Wight. Iconic vehicle now of World War II. This is the 1994 King K2 ambulance. This vehicle was sent to the 52nd Lowland Division and it landed in Holland in 1944. It's owned by Colin Hart from Devon. Number 11 in your programme is the 1938 Ford Alan Taylor tractor. From the mid-30s, Alan Taylor of Wandsworth produced a groundsman's tractor from a Ford 8 engine and chassis. 3 examples were made for the Royal Engineers in 1938, and this is thought to be the only survivor. It's got a 3-speed gearbox and a maximum speed of 8 miles per hour. This one's owned by Ron Moore from Kidworth. Number 114 coming into the arena is the 1942 Bedford QL Command Truck. At the outbreak of World War II, Bedford was contracted by the British War Office to produce a 3-ton 4x4 general service truck. A pilot model was ready in February 1940 and quantity production started in March 1941. I'm pleased to say this is another of our prize winners, this time for Best Bedford Truck. And Mr. Dick Shepherd's going to present the trophy now to Jeff Waite from Lechlade. Congratulations, Jeff. I'm told you're able to put up 2 tables in the back of that truck without too much problem. Number 1 there is the 1955 Series 1 short wheelbase Land Rover. This one's painted in the markings of the number 1 parachute balloon painting company, based at Cardington between 1950 and 1955, and it's owned by Barry Lacey from Somerton. Moving forward in time now, we have the 1976 Land Rover Series 3. This one's painted in Gibraltar Garrison markings, as used to promote the James Bond film The Living Daylights. This one's owned by Mark Lacey, also from Somerton. Rover B-Bomber crew box. This is a Series 2A. It was based at RAF Marham from 1970 through to 1986. Then it was used as airfield transport. It was then transferred to RAF Catterick and used for static communications training. It's a very rare vehicle and possibly the only one in the country, owned by John Crupper from Worthing. That's followed by Neil, who we saw on his push bike earlier. His little Land Rover there is fitted out with a series of Transman's radios in the back, so quite an interesting little exhibition there in the back of that one if you're passing by later on. And a lovely rare little vehicle, this one. The 1942 Lloyd Carrier Mark I. Built in Birmingham in 1942 and saw service in Norway and North. It was a 6-pounder anti-tanker with a 4-man crew. It would carry a 4.2 mortar, transport supplies, and was equipped with a generator for starting tanks and aircraft. It was found in an overgrown field in Norway and has had a nut and bolt restoration. A board charting its restoration will be on display beside the vehicle, and it's owned by Richard Salter from Southampton, who I'm sure you'll agree has done an absolutely fantastic job of restoring this unique little vehicle. Just a reminder that our little Alice Chalmers there going around the edge, they're collecting for the Blind Veterans Association. Please be generous and chuck any spare change you might have into that trailer or into the buckets that are following on with our young ladies. Number 65 there is the 1982 Land Rover 101 ambulance. This is one of 4 built for the Gulf War. It served with 2 regiments before being stored and is presented today in its original form, owned by Ian Heffer from Basingstoke. Next we have the 1955 Carrier Bantam. This example saw service with the RAF in Skidington. It spent a number of years rotting as an advertising board on a raised bank in front of the builder's yard. Number 83 there is the 1939 Austin Light 6 staff car. This was used by the Army from 1940 to 1944, and it was restored in 2016 to 2017 into its original 1940s military trim. This was owned by Mr. Wakeham from Hampshire. Number 106, the 1941 Bedford MW. In 1935, Bedford began the development of a 1,500-weight truck for the British War Office. This entered service as the MW in 1939. This vehicle has a 3.5-litre 6-cylinder petrol engine. It's been restored and is presented today in the markings of 299 Squadron RAF Diesel, owned by Peter Bolt from Shepton Mallet. Chevrolet C8A. This type of vehicle has various uses as personal carrier, wireless vehicle, ambulances and computers. This version is the computer and was used for plotting artillery fire, and it's owned by Michael Byrne from Guildford in Surrey. now we've got the DAF YA-126. This is a light military truck produced for the Dutch Army by the Dutch truck manufacturer DAF. This vehicle was produced in 1956 and it's owned by Jill and Paul Dodd from Blanford. Number 130 is 1960 on 2 Series 3. It's got a diesel multi-fuel 5.1 litre engine, 1-ton GS cargo truck, and one of only 50 built for the Army. It was used for evaluation and testing, but not adopted by the forces. And this was owned by John Stedman from Blanford. Number 57 is a 1976 Land Rover 101. This is carrying 81mm mortar in 3, and it's owned by Alan Marshall from Wellington. It was a bit special to my family as it was the last vehicle that my brother Peter Hibbard owned. Number 67 now is the 1940 Bedford MWD. This has only just recently been purchased and restored, and it's owned by Alec and Michelle Small from Honiton, Dorset in Devon. How dare I say Dorset? And here comes the Alice Chalmers again. Dig deep, folks. Chuck some pennies into that trailer. We're collecting for the Blind Veterans Association. We collected over £2,000 last year, so let's see if we can top it this year. Please be generous and get some money out and chuck on in there. Number 102 there is the 1959 Daimler Ferret skate car. If I can get you to just pause in front of the commentary position there, Rob. You're another one of our trophy winners. This time it's the Best Dorset exhibit in the section. Mr. Shepherd there, proudly presenting that prize to Rob O'Brien from the Bovington Tank Museum. I think he's quite pleased. Beautifully presented vehicle. The Ferret Armoured Skate Car is a British Armoured fighting vehicle designed and built by the UK company Daimler for reconnaissance purposes. It was produced between 1952 and 1971 and widely adopted by regiments in the British Army, as well as the RAF regiment in Commonwealth countries throughout the period. The first production Ferret was built in 1952. In the end, Daimler made a full pilot vehicle, very expensive. Slightly bigger version there, we've got the FV601 Mark II Saladin armoured car. After the Second World War, the British Army felt the need to have a new heavy armoured car. So the design, development and manufacture was given to Elvis Limited of Coventry in October 1947. This vehicle is presented to you today by Danny Chant. just about to go down into the dip there, we've got an interesting little vehicle. That's the 1978 Ford Fardia. This is a rugged four-wheel drive vehicle and it was built for the French military. It's lightweight and intended for use by airborne troops. A large cargo plane can carry and launch 6 and a helicopter can carry 1. It was built to be parachuted to the front line with the capacity to carry equipment over various types of terrain to the rear line. The automated parts used are based on the components of a kitchen TTV, and the word Fardia translates to mean a small wagon capable of transporting heavy cargo. That was owned by Paul Mansell, also of the North London Barmy Army. Number 28 there is the 1992 Lewis. Don't have an awful lot of information on this one, but I'm sure if you're interested in this vehicle, pop along to the North London Barmy Army section up in our group there, and I'm sure they'll have a chat to you and give you all the details about that one. That's owned by Nip Sibley from St Albans. The 1991 Reynolds Bolton RB44. This was developed in the late 1970s with the aim of taking over medium four-wheel drive duties, as carried out by the 1-ton and 101 Land Rovers. They were used for towing the 105mm light gun and other equipment across country. Number 30 there, just going down into the bump, another one of the vehicles owned by the North London Barmy Army. A Land Rover this time.
Not too late.
Then we're followed up here by the 1941 Ford Jeep. One of a number of a collection of vehicles brought all the way down from Aberdeen by Mr. Grant Davidson. He's got a fantastic collection up there in the top right-hand corner. Pop along and have a look. Incredibly, beautifully preserved vehicles. Some incredibly rare vehicles up there as well. There's another one of his Jeeps just going past there. I think they're going to have a bit of fun there, playing on the humps and bumps. And here's the British attempt at a Jeep. This one's known as the Austin Champ, powered by a Rolls-Royce engine. Also part of Grant's collection. Are the vehicles beautifully preserved and presented, but he's got a lovely collection of radios and armament on them as well. Really interesting. If you pop up round, there'll be somebody about there to have a chat with you and tell you all about it, I'm sure. Number 103 now is the 1991 Reynolds Bowden. This example was based in Cyprus. Its stock is used as a mobile mortar platform, and it's owned by Carl Henshaw from Derbyshire. Number 3 there in the programme is the 1942 Ford PPW Jeep. This Jeep was manufactured in the USA by the Ford Motor Company and exported into Great Britain as part of the US Army's build-up prior to the D-Day invasion. It belongs to Rob and Amanda Guy from Ringwood, and they've owned it since 1973. It's equipped with a 50 caliber Browning machine gun, and was originally restored in 1973 and then again 5 years ago. And big brother to the Jeep, here we go with the 1943 Dodge WC-51 weapons carrier. Also part of a collection of vehicles by Robert and Amanda Guy from Bournemouth. Another Jeep here, 1942 Ford. One of over 10,000 built by the Ford Motor Company. Ford made over 277,000 Jeeps during World War II. This Jeep was shipped to the UK in September 1942 and was in the British Army until April 1959. It's had three previous owners before being purchased by the current owner in February 2004, and it's displayed here today in the livery of the 6th Green Howard, owned by Andrew Craig from Bournemouth. And just coming out of the dip there in the centre, another extremely rare vehicle owned by Grant Davidson. This time it's the 1943 German Captain Grad. Very, very rare piece of kit and beautifully presented. Looks like Rob O'Brien there, he's been given the treat of driving it for them today. And what a treat that is. Number 48 there, just come out of the dip, is the 1973 88-inch Series 3 lightweight Land Rover. This one's owned by David Hall from Andover. Number 13 there is the 1992 Leyland Duff. This is an ex-military T244 truck fitted with a Phoenix forward workshop body. Sorry, still through there. From Southend on 6. That looks like the conclusion of the vehicles for today's show, ladies and gentlemen, but please stay seated and hang on for a minute. We do have our tanks coming into the arena to give you a brilliant performance, so hold tight. Give our marshals plenty of room now to get these boys in and out, and we'll carry on with the display as soon as we can. We do have one more trophy to present to you, and it's for the outstanding contribution to our section. And very sadly this year, this trophy has to be presented posthumously. My brother Peter Hibbert